simple reason is I haven't posted in a while. Pretty busy. Got being sick wasn't any fun at all. When I say it wasn't fun, I meant it was not fun at all. My mom and dad are now sick with the COVID. I gave it to them. It is COVID. Just so you all know, COVID is no fun, but it's not the end of your life if you know how to take care of it. What helped me out, which helped my dad out, my mother does not drink at all. Not that any of us really drink at all, but was whiskey. Sipping whiskey keeps it out of your lungs, keeps the back of your throat clear. Tylenol every 2 hours, 1 pill. That seemed to, extra strength Tylenol every 2 hours. That seemed to get me over it. And the last thing that I can honestly say really helped was Ivomec. Ivermectin. Ivermectin is horse wormer. I just didn't seem like I was getting better at all. And when I say getting better at all, I wasn't getting better at all. I was just like dead. And I did take the Ivomec. I did a little bit of research on it. It doesn't matter whether it's the pour-on, the paste, or the injectable. You have got to eat it. I put it in water and drank it. The next day I felt like 90% better, and the day after that I went back to work, and that's been over a week ago now. So I went back to work. Now my mom and dad, they did not eat it. They put on the back of their hand because it's the pour-on variety, and only a certain amount of that soaks in. So they didn't have such good results, but the Ivomec, they went ahead and they retook the Ivomec, and now they're feeling better from what? My dad is definitely looking better. He was pretty sick. My mom wasn't as sick until yesterday, but she said she's feeling a lot better today, and that's very important. And if you don't know what I'm doing, I'm actually backing down the road at about 25 miles per hour in reverse, yes, backing it down. The reason I'm doing that is because you can't make a you can't make a right-hand turn out of the driveway at the farm. And the hay pile is down below my parents' house, which is, you got to make a right-hand turn when you come out of the farm driveway. It's kind of difficult to deal with it that way, but it is what it is. And we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to load this thing up. Teresa's going to come down, and she's going to, her and William are going to ride along with me as we, I'm going to take a load of hay. I'm taking this load of hay today. Timothy's going to bring hay home from the field, and I'm just going to go take this load of hay and pick up a load of compost and drop that compost someplace. I'm not even sure where I'm going to put it. But I'll put you on the loader and you can watch that operation if you want. I know you've seen it 1,000 times, but you can see it another time. Not much is much fun in the winter time. You got his little heater there to... You don't smoke, but why do you buy those things?
Keep them in these type of situations.
Situations like this, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But you'd think that would just melt that right off, wouldn't it? Oh my God.
Gotta get some of that Freol in there.
I don't know. Yeah, well, is there Freol in here?
I don't think so.
I'll see what I got. I know I got something. I did use graphite, spray graphite. Oh my goodness. I got some chain and cable lube in here. This'll work. Get it, Liz? Run it up and down all the way. I'll just have to make sure I put my gloves on when I mess with this thing. Yeah. But everything is more difficult in the winter time, if you didn't know. It's about 25 degrees, which to some people, that's just a summer day in the winter time. But to us here in New Jersey, that's pretty fucking cold. It's cold to us. I mean, once you get down around 10, it doesn't seem to make a difference whether it's 10 degrees or 10 below. But when it is like this, it's just, and we're not really dressed super warm. You dress super warm?
No.
No, well, you got enough fat on you to save. I mean, you don't need to be warm, Tim. So I like to load the hay. I'll load it. You don't have to. But I just idle the truck and let the walking floor do its thing. Go ahead and chain that.
The only thing I do keep warm is my legs.
Go ahead and chain this door. So you just idle the truck, and that's how it works. It's 1, 2, 3, and then they all go forward. I have the tarp all the way forward right now. The bales will press against it, and then when I unload it, it'll unfurl. 99% of the time it does not come undone, and then I just load it up with material and come home. So that's what I'm gonna do, right, Tim? All right, just keep your eye on it. All right, so I got another guy. He's loading out in front of me. This is the first time I've had to wait in a while to get loaded up with compost. It's kind of almost comical to watch some of these guys run these loaders. Now, I'm not perfect at it, but I've run equipment my entire life, and it's not really that difficult to do. It really isn't that difficult to do, but you do have to do it. But I've seen these guys run into the side of their trailers. I've seen these guys take the bucket and smash the hoops in the top of the trailers. I've seen these guys just get up to the top there and almost get the loader sideways on the ramp, trying to wiggle it up there, and I don't know, it's just, you wonder. And I don't think it's farmers, I really don't. I think it's just truck drivers. And I hate to disrespect truck drivers, but I'll tell you what, some of them truck drivers ain't nothing but a bunch of dumbasses with a license to drive shit down the road. Anything more than that, they're just a bunch of whining, crying little children when things don't go their way. And that is my experience with truck drivers. Now, I've got a good truck driver. I really do. The first truck driver I had was George. George was great, desperado. Second one I had, he was a whining, crying, every little thing. If it wasn't perfect, it was a problem, you know, and that was Carl. But, you know, hey, that's Carl. He warned me. He told me he was that way when he started to work for me, but I had never experienced that type of nonsense until he worked for me. The driver I've got now, he's technically a nurse that drives truck, and he is the most laid-back, non-complaining person I've ever met in my entire life, and he does a good job. I have an understanding with him that if it's ice and snow, and we don't go. And that was the way that I was with George. I tried that with Carl. Carl wouldn't do that. It was ice and snow, I don't fucking care, I'm gonna go. And it was fine. I mean, Carl was a good driver. I'm not gonna complain about that. He drove the truck and had very few problems. Lewis, on the other hand, he's perfectly happy with not going if it's ice and snow, and I'm perfectly happy with him not going if it's ice and snow, because I'm not worried about his driving skills. I'm worried about everybody around us. And when we have these people that are around us that would like to kill us, like last night, there is a video in that little camera that I've got on my windshield here. I'm not going to pull it out. I should pull it out, but there was a guy. I could only show you what he did after he passed me because I don't have rear-facing cameras on the fenders. But man, I got to tell you, that guy, he had a death wish, and he was just as dumb as they could ever get. But anyhow, I guess I'll just throw this up on the loader, and you can watch me load my truck. And if I do something stupid like smack into the side of it, you get to watch it on YouTube, right? Well, I got a pretty good idea that my drive home is going to be worse than yesterday's because people don't know how to drive. Again, same spot as yesterday. We've had about 5 fire trucks go down the road. I don't see any new ones coming up. Oh, here comes some more. I'm just going to stay in this lane, and I'm going to stay slow. I'm not getting off the road. I don't know how to go any other way than this, but these people are just unfreaking believable. Yeah. I see more red lights coming. And, you know, you try to make room for them to go, and, you know, they just get right up in there. If there's an opening, they'll cut the fire truck straight off. They don't give a shit. I haven't seen him yet, but he's coming. He's gonna be coming here pretty soon. So everything is pretty much going to a standstill. It's exactly the same spot as yesterday. Exactly. Well, anyway, I'll shut it off. Maybe we'll get a sight. It's probably a multiple car pile up because, like I said, people don't know how to drive. Here he comes. It is definitely fire. And it's right up here. I mean, I'm hoping that we can get past it without too much trouble. I'm hoping they don't shut the fucking road off, but it's looking like that's what they're gonna do. This will be just lovely. Just absolutely lovely. I don't have time for this crap. And that's the one thing about coming down through Philadelphia anymore. It's just, it's absolute flat out insanity the way these people drive. I have, in my life, in my 20 some odd years in dealing with this road, just say 20 years, I've been hauling down through here since the 90s. So 90s, 2000, 2001 was, yeah, definitely 20 years of my life on this road. In the last 3 years, it has gotten so bad with people in the way that they drive. It's like they don't get a driver's license, they just get a car. And they're stupid. Like last night, I'm telling you, I've got it on that camera right there. Those people, they would have, instead of putting on their brake and letting me get around, they would have allowed me to crush them into dirt. And then, but when they passed me blowing their stupid horn, they cut me off just so that they could slide back across the road because there was a block in the road. They blocked the freaking road. But I don't know, who am I? I'm just some dumb farmer that drives a truck. Anyways, when I get closer, I'll turn this on. Well, we just passed where the wreck was, at least one of the wrecks. I don't see any of the fire companies, but I do see that tow truck that passed us, that is, well, past me. There's nobody in here, but just me. There's a white car down here. It looks like he's going to try and get to that one. But just basically, it looked like somebody clipped the front end of a car or truck and ended up into the guardrail. That was it. But the car was gone, so unless this is part of that wreck, I don't know. No, I don't think so. No, nothing there. I don't know. It's kind of weird. This is exactly where this problem was yesterday. Like right there. That's ridiculous, but what am I gonna do? Alright, hopefully I get home before dark so I can get this thing loaded up again for tomorrow morning. Alright, so here's another load of compost. This is the third one I'm stuffing up here. I need about 8 loads on this, in this area, to make me happy to grow another crop of corn. I could do beans this coming year, but I'm really kind of stuck on corn right now. I like doing corn, but I was talking about in my Ag Talking to Raw video about how these corn stalks are just breaking down to the point where you would barely even know that there's corn here this past year. So what I had Tim do when, I don't know, maybe a couple, 3 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks after we were done with corn, was to come out with a disc harrow and disc up the corn stalks. And he didn't do, I had him just skim across the top. I just wanted to bust those stalks up. And then I decided that I would come through with the ripper. After I had gotten a ripper, I thought, well, you know what, I'm gonna break that hard pan up that's down there. And if you look at this stuff, you wouldn't even know that this was like 220 bushel corn. And when you do get a hold of it, because it is so, it is frozen, but if you look at this, I've seen stalks in the spring that were not nearly as broke down as what these are. And that was one that is standing straight up, and I kind of got to watch my truck, it don't roll away. But if you get down in here to this stuff, the outer shell of this corn, these corn stalks are really just turning to nothing. They will break down. I can't show you the activity in the soil because it is frozen. The worms have gone down. You may be able to see there's wormholes throughout it. If you really got down and looked at it, there is wormholes there. The activity in the soil is off the charts. It's very good. We've had, this will be the 4th year of putting compost down, including, it'll be coming up on the 3rd year of corn, but I did a couple 3 years as hay with compost. So, yeah. Why is this thing running so damn slow? It is running slow. Maybe I better speed up my engine. But yeah, and it all looks the same. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't really matter where it's at. The ripper does not till the soil. It basically heaves it up and drops it. So come springtime, honestly, I don't think you're going to see much of anything. And those microbes do go up through the stalk and break it down. Those, because they're standing straight up, aren't breaking down. But this one here, look at this, just dust. So that's what you want to see. And honestly, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there saying there's no way that that corn was 220 bushel. It was. It definitely was. This was some of the better corn on the farm. The worst field on the farm was actually below my mom and dad's house, those 2 fields down there. And that's because the wind damage. We had lost several acres of corn to wind damage. This coming year, hopefully with the, oh yeah, and I also put lime on this. You can't see that over the snow. And I am gonna actually, when I do work this ground up, I'll get the compost in, and I'm just gonna work this ground up. I'm gonna add another 1,000 pounds of calcium or lime to this soil, and that should get me up where it needs to be, in that 6-8 range. This ground here is not bad at all. The lowest it is, I think, is like, I think it's in the 6.2, and some of the stuff below my parents' house is in that, 6.1, 6.0 range. I want to get this up as close to 7 as I can. I know there's some guys that say, oh, well, the hefty boys say between 6.5 and 6.8 is ideal. You're correct, it is ideal. But I have had 7.1 pH, got yelled at by fertilizer companies over that, but test weight on corn is in the 60 pound test weight, 61 pound test weight when my pH is that high, and soybeans is in the 62, 63 pound test weight range for soybeans when I was doing a lot of soybeans. So yeah, anyway, this is really just a vlog, a talk on what's going on, and we've got the satellite up there, and yeah, it's kind of chilly out. I think I'm gonna go mash the pedal on that thing, get this truck moving, because I have to load my truck. I gotta load this back up with hay because I'm gonna take off in the morning. I'll get up at about 3:30, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning and go down, get another load of compost, and I'll park that here. Lewis will be here. He's gonna pull 2 loads as well. So thanks for watching.